July 1947. Roswell. On June 14, 1947, a rancher named W. Mac Brazel and his son Vernon were driving across their ranch land some 80 miles northwest of Roswell when they encountered something they'd never seen before. It was, in Brazel's words, a large area of bright wreckage made up of rubber strips, tinfoil, and rather tough paper and sticks. The metallic-looking, lightweight fabric was scattered, shredded across the ground of the New Mexico desert. Brazel didn't know what to do with the newfound items, or how they landed on his property. On July 4th, Brazel gathered some of the material he found on his field. On July 7th, he drove it to Roswell, delivering the goods to Sheriff George Wilcox. Seeking answers, he contacted Colonel Butch Blanchard, commander of the Roswell Army Airfield's 509th Composite Group, located just outside of town. Blanchard was stymied. Working his way up the chain of command, he decided to contact his superior, General Roger W. Ramey, commander of the 8th Air Force in Fort Worth, Texas. Blanchard also sent Major Jesse Marcel, an intelligence officer, from the base to investigate more thoroughly. Accompanied by the sheriff and Brazel, Marcel returned to the site and collected more of the wreckage. As they tried to ascertain what the materials were, Marcel chose to make a public statement on July 8th. Marcel's comments ran in the local newspaper, the Roswell Daily Record, along a headline stating, "RAAF captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell." The Army quickly retracted the release, falsely stating the crashed object was merely a conventional weather balloon. General Roger Ramey then ordered a press conference in which the press was allowed to see the wreckage and Marcel holding the wreckage of a crashed weather balloon. With an explanation given by the military, the press dropped the story. The incident was forgotten until 1978 when retired Lieutenant Colonel Jesse Marcel was interviewed by UFOologist Stanton Friedman. In that interview, Marcel revealed the weather balloon had been a cover story to divert public attention. Based on this, Marcel speculated that the debris might have been of extraterrestrial origin.
They were just fragments strewn all over the area, an area about 3/4 of a mile long and several hundred feet wide. So we proceeded to pick up the parts. He says, I tried to bend this stuff. He says, it will not bend. I even tried to burn that. It would not burn. See, that stuff weighs nothing. It's not any thicker than tinfoil in the back of cigarettes. He says, we even tried making a dent in it with a 16-pound sledgehammer. Still no dent in it. One thing I was certain of, being familiar with all air activities, that it was not a weather balloon, nor an aircraft, nor a missile. It was something else of which we didn't know what it was.
Marcel's son, Jesse A. Marcel, MD, stated that in 1947, when he was 10 years old, his father had shown him alien debris recovered from the Roswell crash site, including a small beam with purple-hued hieroglyphs on it.
Years after this incident happened, we would talk privately among ourselves about what the possibilities of this, what this thing was. And I feel that I know that we came to the conclusion it was not of earthly origin.
Then in 1980, the story from one Grady Barnett, a highly regarded official of long standing with the U.S. Soil Conservation Service in New Mexico, told a story to his friends that while out working on the projects around the plains of San Augustine, he had encountered a disc-shaped spaceship about 20 or 30 feet in diameter. While examining the disc, a small group of university research archaeologists on a dig arrived also encountered the crash and the corpses of extraterrestrials. The bodies were entirely unlike anything Barnett and his companions had ever seen. They had huge, hairless heads and were outfitted with one-piece grayish suits with no zippers or belts. According to the information provided by Barnett's friends and associates who spoke publicly about the event after his death, soldiers then soon arrived and quarantined off the area, telling them that it was their duty as American citizens not to tell anyone about what they had seen at the crash site. In 1950, Barney's friends, Vern and Gene Maltese, were told a story by Barney about an incredible UFO crash that happened just a few years prior in the New Mexico desert. He provided details about this encounter, including viewing bodies that were not human. He said to Vern that the bodies were very thin, 3.5 to 4 feet tall, and that there were 4 of them. Although the time frame of Barnett's encounter was similar to Roswell's, Barnett had placed his sightings of the downed craft and pilots over 200 miles from Roswell in the plains of San Augustine, region of New Mexico. The machine was split open upon explosion or impact. Barnett got close enough to see what the creature pilots looked like, but he did not touch them. He said that they were like human, but not humans. Small by our standards, they seemed to be males, and there were a number of them. One theory is that the ship was struck by lightning above the farmland of Mac Brazel. The ship then flew an additional 200 miles and crashed in the plains of San Augustine in Corona, New Mexico, where Barney and the archaeologists stumbled upon the crash site. There was also more stories about alien bodies being transferred to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base from Roswell, along with loading large amounts of debris and bodies from the crashed UFO. It's even rumored that they loaded the crashed debris and the bodies onto 2 separate bombers. In case one were to crash, at least one of them would make it to their final destination. Guys, what do you think about the Roswell crash? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.